Flipping awesome. This weather's great. What about you? Welcome. First installment of my new koi pond build. How did I end up here? Well, initially the plan was to put a new kitchen in this house, get it on the market and move to somewhere with a bit more land around it. But then you get watching videos like James the Koi Whisperer, Lee Hatfield. You know, these guys have built some stunning ponds in a small space. So the missus didn't really want to sell the house, didn't want to move. So once the new kitchen went in, she had decided I'm not going anywhere. So I said, look, if we're staying here, I'm having a new pond. And she pretty much said, I don't care if you dig the back garden up and put a liner in it and fill it full of water, do whatever you like. So that's pretty much what I've planned to do. I mean, the start of this build, like any build, and I can't stress this enough, you gotta plan. I mean, I've drawn all this out multiple times, measured out filter houses, measured out the span of the pond to get the best out of the space, really. But definitely, I can't stress it enough, plan, and whatever you think it's gonna cost, just double that, because it's probably gonna cost double. What I must say is, I'm not building this myself. I've got a team of professionals, landscaping company that specialise in building ponds. I've got them in to do this for me. It was a bit of a nightmare initially getting me digger around the back of the back garden. We had to dismantle it on my driveway because the cage, the canopy on top was just too big, and my garage sort of overhangs, so they couldn't get it round. So I had to spend the first day pretty much stripping that down. Once they got it in though, they started ripping everything out. It's all clay here, which I remember from when I built my original pond. It's an absolute nightmare, and it was sticking to the bucket and just coiling up. They couldn't get the arm in. The poor blokes were in here with spades trying to key it up enough to get the digger in, but we eventually got the hole dug, and I think 4 16-ton grab lorries later, the driveway was clear. I'm sure the neighbours didn't know what was going on. Every time they walked past, there was a mountain of earth piled up out there. It was a lot of earth come out of here. So we're only at the 2-week stage now at the minute. The guys pretty much only had 7 days to work on it, because we did have some mad torrential rain, and of course, being clay, it just filled up with water. But the guys turned up and hit it with a pond vac, vacuumed it all out, got it down as far as they could. We shuttered it off in here. I got 2 spin drifter bottom drains which run over to here on 4-inch lines, and the air lines come up, and they were bedded in mortar first. Got rebar in the floor, and then hit it all with concrete. Just before they hit it all with concrete, they filled these bottom drains up with water. They're wrapped in cling film. You can see they're full of water. Stops them floating about whenever they're pouring the concrete in. I mean, this, once they got the rebar in and the drain set, this base took all of 15 minutes for the guys to pump in and tamper off. So looking forward to next week when we get the start on the block work, and it makes it all a bit more real. But I'll just take you a walk around and give you a look at what I'm planning to do with things. I mean, it's going to be a filter house up the back with proper block building with a roof on top. We'll have my drum filter, bio chamber, my air source heat pump will be on the outside of the building, just here on the front. And there's going to be 2 returns here and a 3rd over this side. So you'll have water coming this way and this way, with a in-wall skimmer, 4-inch gravity fed skimmer will be going over here on the corner of this wall. That'll feed back in. It's going to feed into the drum for now, but I'm thinking I might put it on some sort of sieve and give me a bit of a better return. out of the bio chamber that's going to feed. I've got 2 showers currently on the pond, but I'm going to do something a bit different inside the filter house because I don't really want the noise of the shower. It's quite noisy over there, but you know, I've got neighbours on this side and neighbours at the back, and with the showers running 24/7, I don't want to be annoying anybody. So plus I'd like it a bit more silent in the garden myself. And while all this has been going on, I've been having an absolute nightmare in my own pond. When these guys first come to quote me for the build, my big Sankey 72 cm Sankey that I got in the main pond, she jumped and smacked herself on the side wall, so had to have her out, sedate her, topical treat the injuries, salted the pond to 0.4%, it's 20 odd degrees anyway, and it started to heal lovely. But then a week later I noticed a couple of the fish on the bottom clamped, a few flashing, so I did a scrape and found fluke. And it wasn't just like 1 or 2 fluke, it was like a fluke rave, a mad fluke orgy. They were just everywhere on the slide. I couldn't believe it. I've never ever had it that bad before. Usually I struggle to find 1 or 2, but on the slide, as soon as I rolled the microscope into, you know, into focus, it was just both fluke everywhere. So I treated with Fluke Solve Plus, and that seemed to irritate the hell out of the Sankey. She just went really red, raised scales. Oh, it was an absolute nightmare. So now every time I'm treating her wounds and then treating for fluke, and it's just an absolute nightmare. It's probably one of the craziest periods I've ever had in my koi keeping career. It's awful, but I had her out at the weekend here, just gone, clean it, seal it, and I followed the instructions like Frank did. I don't know if you've seen that video, Andrew Daly's, where he was struggling with injury on a fish, and Frank from the Koi channel come around and cleaned it all up. I took a lot of direction from what he did there, and a couple of jabs, antibiotics, and back in, but it's looking loads better. Raised scales have gone down. It is just a little bit red looking, but I have to treat for. Oh, here's our last with my milkshake. Thank you, love. Awesome. Power shake. Trying to lose a bit of weight. I'm off to America next month for a couple of weeks, and I've literally we've not long come back from Mallorca, and when we looking at photographs from Mallorca, I look like a bit of a beach whale on the beach, so I'm trying to be a bit healthier. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, so where was I? Flukes, nightmare, crazy. So I'm due my extra dose of flukes now, my next dose of Fluke Solve. So I'll put it in today, and I hope to God that she doesn't flare up again, you know. But you haven't seen me for a while. I've been absolutely manic. Life has just been crazy. We've lost so many members of me family. Like, just recently lost my sister at 48-year-old. It's just been, you know, just life's been a bit hectic. So I've just been living it and not recording it, really, to be honest. But hopefully this is the start of something, and I'll take a bit more time and be able to get back on it. I'm definitely going to document this all the way through, and I'll keep you posted. So without further ado, guys, have an absolutely cracking weekend. Have a better week. Stay fantastic, stay positive, and look after yourselves and look after your fish, and I'll see you on the next one.